Hi friends, Teacher Rachel here, and this week we are going to be doing Eric Carle's The Very Busy Spider for one of our books for the week. I have it right here, Eric Carle's The Very Busy Spider. And in this story, there's a spider who builds a web while everybody keeps asking her if she wants to do things, but she's too busy building her web. And then at the very end, she catches a fly and then goes to sleep. So for the activity for this week, you guys have a paper plate and then some twine or some string, and I sent home some beads. There should be one wooden bead. It might be round, it might be kind of shaped like this, it might be colored. And then I sent home some of these pony beads in different colors. I'm just gonna set mine aside for now. And the paper plate has holes in it. So there's two ways that you can do this project. So we're going to be making a spider web with this plate. And you can either do it just like this, the whole plate, and just take your web and thread it through the same way. Or you can cut the plate so it looks a little bit more like a spider web and you can see through it. I'm going to attempt to cut it. Do get your mom and dad's help with scissors if you need it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to poke a hole and then I'm going to cut around, although now that I'm doing it, it might be easier to flip it over. Yeah, this way is a little bit easier. And I'm going to cut out the bottom of the plate. You can always use the bottom of the plate for something else, different activity or project. You can cut it up. It's a nice sturdy material. I believe these are compostable, so if you need to compost them, you can do that. Okay, so here's my paper plate. So I'm going to take one and find one end of my string. So here's one of my string. I'm going to put it through a hole, and I'm going to tie it so that way it doesn't come undone. So I'm going to put it through there, and I'm just going to tie a double knot. So here's one knot, and here's two knots. If you're struggling with the threading, it might be a good idea to put a piece of tape on the end of your string. That'll keep it from unraveling and make it a little bit easier to thread. So that is an option to keep in mind. You just take a little piece of tape, wrap it around the end, and easy peasy lemon squeezy, you are ready to go. I have a little knot in the end of mine, but I'm just going to leave it. I think it'll be okay. So what we're going to do is when you thread it, you just have to stick it through and pull it out. And those of you who have read this book with us in class, we kind of do something similar when we throw a ball of yarn back and forth across the classroom to create our own web. So I'm going to start there, and then I got to find my end again. Okay. And it doesn't matter which direction you go. It doesn't matter what holes you pick. This is your web, and it can look however you want it to look. I'm going to go here. Then I'm going to go over here. And then the beads are going to be, you can use them as a fly, or I'm going to use my big bead as a kind of as a spider. So once I get close to the end, I'm going to put my spider, I'm going to string the string through the spider so that I have a spider hanging out on my spider web. Let's see. Go like this. If you have different colored string, you can use different colored string. You could probably even, once you're all done stringing it, take some markers perhaps and color your string. That might be kind of cool. If you have a fake spider at home, you could toss a fake spider on there. So I'm going through every hole just once. But that doesn't mean that you have to go through every hole just once. You can go through them more than once. You can, you can double them up. You can loop them different under, like this, or over, however you want to do your web. So this is your project, your activity, so you get to have fun with it. Let's see. There's this one. I'm going to go over here. Let's see. And now, let's see, I'm almost done with my web, so I'm going to go ahead and snip this little knot that I had on the end of mine and thread my bead. So here I've got my little wooden bead. I'm going to twist this. This part probably would be easier with a piece of tape on the end, but we'll see if I can do it. kind of like twist it as I push it in there. Oh, it's not being very cooperative. Try sticking it through the other side. You can always color your bead too. It would be kind of fun to color it the color of a spider. In Eric Carle's book, the spider is kind of got a green head and kind of orangey red body and lots of orange and red and green with a little bit of blue and yellow. Let's see here. This is not cooperating very well. Let's see, I've got my thread in there. It's just not wanting to go through. So I do suggest that you use a piece of tape if you have one available, because it will make that a lot easier. Okay, now I have my bead on there. So now I'm going to put it through my last hole on my paper plate, like so. And ta-da, now I have a little spider that I can move around. You could always glue stuff to it to give it more of a spider look. Let's see. I'm actually going to thread this back through another hole since I have some extra and I don't feel like cutting it off. You can always trim it if you're done, or you can do what I'm doing and just keep going until it's all the way gone. And then at the end, you're going to want to tie it off. And you can practice catching bugs with it. If you got some toy bugs, you can toss them on there and see how good your web works to catch your bugs. Let's see, end it here. Or any other small animals or toys that you have. Do you guys know that there is a spider, I believe it's in Australia, I could be wrong, don't quote me, that actually catches and eats small birds, which is kind of crazy to think of a spider catching a bird in its webs. Yeah, that's a big spider, and that's some strong webs. Okay, so I tied 2 knots on the end here too, and there we go. Now you can see I have my very busy spider. You can flip it over this way, and I can move my spider around, go back and forth. I have a little bit of a gap here, but this side looks pretty good. I can definitely catch something on this side. Look, I just tossed my, oop, got my scissors. And you guys can use the little beads if you want to put more beads on there. It can be like bugs that your spider's already caught. I did send home some stickers for a different project, but you could always use them on here. Like, there we go. Bummer, but the spider did catch a butterfly. So, yeah, I hope you guys have fun with this and enjoy the Eric Carle book, The Very Busy Spider. I'll see you next time. Bye.